Throughout history, the East has birthed philosophies that lean towards introspection, self-reliance, and finding strength in solitude. Among the most powerful tenets they teach is the art of detachment, the understanding that liberation often comes from letting go, not clinging on. The idea of not needing others is neither about isolation nor arrogance. It's about understanding one's intrinsic worth and cultivating an unwavering inner strength. Such a perspective not only empowers the individual but also fosters genuine, unforced connections with others. Lao Tzu, the revered Chinese sage, often spoke of Wu Wei, effortless action. This is the practice of moving with the flow of life, unburdened by attachments. Then we have Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, who, despite his prowess in battle, emphasized the importance of self-reliance and inner equilibrium. Throughout this exploration, we'll delve deeper into the teachings of these luminaries, along with insights from other Eastern philosophers, to truly grasp the transformative power of detachment. How, in the intricate dance of human relationships, sometimes the most profound step is to gracefully let go. Lao Tzu, embracing solitude. From the broad overview of Eastern detachment, let's narrow our lens to a singular figure whose teachings have shaped the minds of millions. Lao Tzu. Founder of Taoism, his writings often emphasize a profound sense of balance, of yielding, of being at one with the universe's rhythm. In his seminal work, the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu speaks eloquently of the power and wisdom found in stillness. The Tao does nothing, yet leaves nothing undone. Such reflections serve as reminders that true strength can be found in quiet moments of solitude. It isn't about isolating oneself from the world, but about achieving a harmonious state where one isn't swayed by externalities. For Lao Tzu, being at peace with oneself is paramount. In a world that often measures worth by external achievements and validations, Lao Tzu's teachings urge us to look inward. Through his wisdom, we learn that embracing solitude, far from being a sign of withdrawal, is an affirmation of one's self-sufficiency and inner richness. Musashi, the lone samurai. From the serene reflections of Lao Tzu, we step into the world of a wandering warrior, Miyamoto Musashi. The juxtaposition of a Taoist sage and a Japanese samurai might seem vast, but the philosophical underpinnings they share converge beautifully on the concept of detachment. Miyamoto Musashi, one of Japan's greatest swordsmen, was often depicted as a ronin, a samurai without a master, a lone figure navigating the challenges of life. Yet this image of the solitary warrior wasn't just a product of circumstance, but also a conscious choice. In his seminal work, The Book of Five Rings, Musashi expounds upon the many lessons he garnered from his duels, journeys, and periods of deep introspection. Central to these teachings is the value of solitude in refining one's craft and understanding oneself. For Musashi, solitude wasn't just a physical state, but also a mental and spiritual discipline. It was in his moments of aloneness that he crafted the two-sword technique, representing not only martial expertise, but also the balance between action and introspection. This duality showcases how self-reliance doesn't denote loneliness, but symbolizes freedom. The freedom to choose, to act, and to determine one's destiny without being overly swayed by societal expectations. Moreover, Musashi's journeys, often devoid of lasting human companionships, highlight a crucial idea. One doesn't need to be constantly surrounded by people to find meaning and purpose. For him, self-sufficiency was an empowering state, allowing an individual to harness their inner strengths, tune out distractions, and focus on their path. Through Musashi's life, we see a vivid portrayal of how solitude, when embraced, can be transformed from an empty space into a fertile ground for personal growth and mastery. The Buddhist concept of non-attachment. Journeying from Musashi's sword-laden paths, we find ourselves amidst the serene teachings of Buddhism. Just as Musashi embraced solitude, Buddhism, in its essence, promotes non-attachment as a route to enlightenment. Buddhism articulates that much of human suffering arises from desires and attachments, be it material possessions or social connections. These attachments tether the soul, making liberation and true happiness elusive. In recognizing this, Buddhism offers the wisdom of non-attachment. It doesn't advocate for a life devoid of relationships or possessions, but rather it emphasizes a life where one isn't controlled by them. This detachment from external ties aids in cultivating a sense of inner peace. By not being excessively bound to the material and social world, individuals can navigate life's ups and downs with equanimity. It's not about neglecting worldly responsibilities or relationships, but understanding their transient nature. In essence, just as Musashi found strength in solitude, Buddhism proposes that there's profound wisdom and contentment in letting go, in understanding the impermanence of everything we often cling to. Through this lens, not needing people or possessions becomes not a sign of aloofness, but of profound inner understanding and peace. Zen, the power of now. From the Buddhist principles of non-attachment, we naturally segue into the Zen approach to life, existing solely in the present moment. While Buddhism teaches us to not be controlled by our attachments, Zen goes a step further by illuminating the beauty and profundity of the now. Zen philosophy centers on being fully present, finding tranquility and clarity in the immediacy of your current experience rather than worrying about future interactions or past mistakes. It asks us to eliminate the constant chatter in our minds, the persistent concerns about who likes us, who doesn't, and what they think of us. By being fully engaged with the present, you sidestep the emotional and psychological dependencies that often govern social interactions. When you are completely at one with the moment, the need for validation from others naturally dissipates. You're no longer seeking happiness or approval from outside. You find it within yourself in the here and now. So in a way, not needing people isn't about avoiding human connection, but about enhancing the quality of each interaction. By being present, you enter each social exchange without the baggage of need or expectation, which often leads to more genuine and fulfilling relationships. Zen, thus, offers a compelling view. The less you need from the world and people around you, the more enriching your life and your relationships become. It aligns well with both Musashi's idea of self-sufficiency and Buddhist notions of non-attachment, painting a holistic Eastern philosophical landscape that empowers the individual. Confucianism, balanced relationships. Flowing seamlessly from Zen's focus on the individual and the present moment, Confucianism shifts our gaze outward to the web of relationships that surround us. Central to Confucian thought is the idea of living harmoniously within society. But this doesn't necessarily mean becoming overly dependent on others. Confucius, the ancient Chinese philosopher, taught the significance of 5 core relationships: ruler and subject, parent and child, husband and wife, elder and younger siblings, and friends. While these relationships form the backbone of societal order, the teachings emphasized mutual respect and understanding, rather than blind reliance. Being overly reliant or excessively dependent disrupts the natural balance of these relationships. For instance, while respecting elders is crucial, it should not come at the cost of suppressing one's own individuality or thought process. In the same vein, while camaraderie between friends is cherished, it shouldn't foster codependency. This harmony in relationships, as Confucius taught, allows individuals to maintain their independence while still being an integral part of the societal fabric. It's about striking a balance, being connected yet not chained, involved yet not entangled. In essence, Confucianism enriches our understanding of not needing people in a possessive or needy sense, but rather coexisting with them in a state of balanced interdependence. This philosophy beautifully complements the lessons from Zen, Buddhism, and Musashi's teachings, offering a comprehensive Eastern outlook on self-sufficiency and relational harmony. Yin and Yang, harmonious interdependence. Emerging from the Confucian ethos of balanced relationships, we find another profound Eastern symbol of balance: Yin and Yang. This ancient Chinese philosophy emphasizes the interconnectedness and interdependence of opposites. In the realm of relationships, the Yin and Yang philosophy can be seen as the equilibrium between self-sufficiency and interpersonal connections. Just as Yin cannot exist without Yang, our inner self-reliance, not needing people in a dependent manner, complements and enhances the quality of our external relationships. By not desperately clinging or needing others, we come to relationships from a place of completeness, not lack. This allows our interactions to be free of undue expectations and attachments, fostering healthier and more genuine connections. Such balance ensures neither side is overwhelmed or consumed by the other. Thus, in the dance of yin and yang, the magic of not needing people paradoxically makes our bonds with them more genuine, rich, and fulfilling. It's the art of finding harmony in both solitude and togetherness. The enigma of desireless desiring. Navigating from the harmonious balance of yin and yang, we're faced with another intricate facet of Eastern philosophy, the paradox of desiring to be desireless. Ancient sages often preached about the tranquility found in eliminating desires. But isn't the wish to eliminate desire a desire in itself? Lao Tzu once noted that by desiring little, one can learn the secret of being content. In the context of relationships, this translates to the freedom found in not needing people. Not in the sense of pushing them away, but rather not clinging to them out of desperation or dependency. By anchoring ourselves in this self-sufficient tranquility, we cultivate relationships not out of necessity, but out of genuine appreciation. When we interact without desperate need, but with pure intent, our connections with others become more sincere. We are free to enjoy their presence when they're with us, and equally at peace in their absence. This serene balance ensures that our relationships are based on mutual respect and appreciation, rather than compulsion and neediness. In essence, by embracing the paradox of desiring no desires, we learn to value our relationships for what they truly are, complements to our lives, not crutches we lean on. Practical integration, embracing Eastern tranquility in the modern age. Building on the profound idea of desiring no desires, how can we practically infuse these ancient Eastern teachings into our bustling modern lives? The Eastern sages, while rooted in times far removed from our digital age, provided timeless wisdom that remains as applicable today as it was centuries ago. Begin by introspecting on your relationships. Which connections stem from genuine bonds and which are born from dependency or fear of loneliness? Recognizing these patterns is the first step towards transformation. Practice the art of enjoying solitude. Spend time with yourself, engage in activities that you love, and discover the joys of being alone, but not lonely. Cultivate gratitude. While it's essential to be self-sufficient, it's equally important to acknowledge and appreciate the people in our lives. Express gratitude for their presence, cherishing moments of connection. Seek balance. Just as with yin and yang, strive for equilibrium in relationships. This doesn't mean cutting ties, but rather ensuring that interactions are healthy, mutual, and not driven by sheer dependency. This leads us to the next layer, using mindfulness to aid our journey. While the concept of not needing people is deeply philosophical, Eastern practices offer tangible methods to achieve this state. Mindful liberation from attachments. The Eastern world places significant emphasis on the transformative power of mindfulness and meditation. These practices offer a bridge, connecting profound philosophical concepts with our daily experiences. Daily meditation. Dedicate a few minutes each day to meditate. This doesn't mean hours of silent contemplation, but just a few moments of stillness, focusing on your breath, grounding yourself, observing desires. When feelings of neediness or dependency arise, instead of reacting, pause. Observe these emotions without judgment, understanding their transient nature. Engage in nature. Much like Musashi and other Eastern philosophers drew lessons from nature, regularly spending time outdoors can offer clarity. Nature reminds us of the larger picture, helping put our social desires into perspective. By infusing these practices into our lives, we begin to detach not out of disdain for social connections, but from a place of strength, understanding, and inner peace. We learn to value ourselves, cherish others, and navigate the world with a sense of balance and purpose. The serene strength and self-reliance. Wrapping up our journey into the Eastern ethos, the tranquil potency of solitude and self-sufficiency becomes evident. These ancient teachings, while rooted in bygone eras, resonate profoundly in today's world, offering a counter-narrative to our often hyper-connected, dependency-laden lives. Drawing from the wellsprings of Lao Tzu, Musashi, Zen, and beyond, we've traversed the delicate dance of being at peace with oneself without renouncing the world. This isn't about isolation, but genuine empowerment, finding joy and contentment within, and thereby enhancing our connections with others. So, as you move forward, remember this not as an end, but as a beginning, a starting point to delve deeper, to practice, to reflect, and to discover the profound freedom that comes when we learn not to lean too heavily on the external. Embrace the serene strength that lies in true self-reliance,